May I have your attention, please?
Welcome to Real Gaijin, unveiling the real Japan, an American expat's inside look. Now it's time for another story from the Read My Lips series of podcasts. Summarized podcast.
Well, welcome everyone. Hi, I'm Mark Kennedy. I'm your host of the Real Gaijin Substack and podcast. Today we have yet another special guest, Tim Bunting. I'm going to tell you about him in a minute, but just as background. Now, a lot of people, most visitors to Japan, just stay for a short period. Some try and stay for up to maybe 3 months before the visa requirements kick in, and many come back. Some, like me, decide to relocate here for years at a time, and like me, some decide to stay indefinitely into the future as permanent residents. And then there is a very special class of foreigners that decide to go completely Japanese style into the culture and really adopt a new lifestyle. And today we have just a person like that, Tim Bunting. He's a practicing mountain ascetic from New Zealand who leads the Yamabushi training in English and Japanese. Don't worry, we're going to tell you all about that. Tim, you want to say hello?
Kia ora. Hi everyone. Hi, Mark. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Great. All right, before we get started, just a little bit of housekeeping. We're going to try and keep this to about an hour or so today, as usual. But if you have any questions, please feel free to put those questions in the chat, and we will try to address them as we go. Ask anything. That's the whole point of this. The other thing is we will be putting out a recording of this program about maybe 24 hours from now. Give me a little bit of time, but we'll get that done right away. So without further ado, Tim, all right, tell us about your background and how you got to Japan.
It's a long question. That's a long answer.
Okay, we have an hour.
I'll try and keep it like as brief as possible. So when I was in like primary school, elementary school is what other people call it. My older brother and older sister both hosted Japanese students. Like, so we would have Japanese people come and do a homestay at our house. And so I was exposed to Japanese people from a very young age.
And this is in New Zealand, right?
In New Zealand, yeah.
Okay.
And then, and then my brother, he's four grades older than me. I think he's 5 grades older, but he's 4 years older. Does that make sense? So he went up a level. Anyway, so he did a study abroad in Tokyo in the year 2000. Okay, and I was I would have been 12 at the time, and he did a study abroad, and that meant that I had we were sharing a room, so that meant I had a room to myself for the first time ever, and I was extremely excited about that. But then I remember the moment we picked him up from the airport, like he was there for like at least a year, I think. And the moment we picked him up from the airport, he was just really cool. Like, I remember he was wearing this really nice jacket, and I thought, that's really cool. Okay. And then on the drive home, he was just telling us like his memories of the place. And I felt what an awesome place to visit, and saw the photos. Like, I remember photos of like Tokyo back streets, and I remember one particular view was looking down from like a steep street, and it's just city the whole way. You know, I think you can appreciate. And so my brother did that, and then I followed in his footsteps, and I started learning Japanese at high school, which is from about 13 in New Zealand.
Whoa, that's early. You're lucky.
Yeah. It's so I've been learning it for more than 20 years already. And then when I was 16, either 16 or 17, we did a 2-week Japan trip. Okay. So 10 days in Osaka, and from Osaka we went to Kyoto, Himeji. We did an overnight stay in Hiroshima, and then 4 days in Tokyo. And when I was leaving Tokyo, when I was leaving Narita Airport, I remember looking down at because Narita Airport's like it's relatively rural. So you can still see farms, and then you've got the city in the distance. And I remember, I'm going to come back. I'm going to live here. That's when I decided. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I kept studying Japanese at uni. And then during uni, I did a 6-month study abroad in Okayama.
Yeah.
That was really cool. It was also extremely lonely because, like, all of the other university students, they were all in their club activities, and so I had one really good friend, and that's about it. But he's an extremely good friend. But and then 6 months study abroad, and then in 2020, so 2009, I applied for JET, and I got in on 2010 in 2010 as a reserve. So I
A
wasn't the
reserve.
first. Yeah, I wasn't the first choice. And they sent me here. They sent me to Yamagata, Shonai town, which is 5-minute drive just south of where I live in Sakata.
So maybe back up for just a second.
Yeah.
Where is Yamagata? Not everyone knows.
Yeah. So, well, because I recently found out that Tohoku, the Tohoku region north of Tokyo, but not Hokkaido, they doubled the amount of international tourism from 2% to 4% in recent years. Yeah. So, still less than 5% of international tourists visit Tohoku, which is insane if you ask me. And so it's north of Tokyo. So if you go to get there's an hour flight. You can fly to Shonai Airport from Haneda, or you can take the Shinkansen from Tokyo to the Sea of Japan coast, going. Wait, maybe it's that direction. It's northwest.
Okay.
And you get to Niigata, and from Niigata you travel another 2 hours north on the train along the coast of the Sea of Japan, and that's where I live. So I live on the coast, but Yamagata has a coastal area called the Shonai area, and then it's got the inland area, which they just call Nairiku, so inland. Yeah, and so that's where Yamagata is. So it's like halfway up the Sea of Japan coast when you're heading north.
Good.
Yeah.
And
You
you've
can,
been there ever since, essentially.
yes. So I've been there 15 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Terrific. And just for all those of us, those that joined since we started, there are now many more. Please feel free to put any questions in the chat, and we'll try to keep track of that. All right. Now, we're going to spend the bulk of today
Yeah.
talking about your passion, which is Yamabushi.
Yes.
First of all,
Yeah.
what does that mean?
Okay. So Yamabushi is a practitioner of Shugendo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's
What
go
is
a little bit
Shugendo?
deeper on that. What does that mean?
So literally translated, so Shugendo it's a door. It's like kendo or judo or sado, tea ceremony, kado, flower arrangement. And it's literally translated. It's so shu is ascetic practice, and gen is from the word genriki, which translates to supernatural powers. Okay, so Shugendo is the path or the way of gaining supernatural powers through ascetic practice, and that's how you would translate it.
That's very detailed. I
Yeah.
can see why you stayed for 15 years.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been practicing? I mean, I'm picturing a scene out of Kill Bill here. Is this what kind of practices or how did you even come across this?
Yeah. So, that's two big questions. One is how I came to do it. So in 2016, and I think this context is important, or it will become important. My father died. My
Oh,
dad died in April of 2016, and so I went back to New Zealand for his funeral, and then he was out climbing a mountain. Actually, had a heart attack, and then a week. So when I went to New Zealand, came back to Japan, and within a week, a friend of mine, he introduced me to my now like boss, or yeah, I'd call him my boss, Takeharu Kato, who runs the Yamabushi Do. The company is called Megurun, and Megurun run the Yamabushi Do programs, which is providing ascetic training to specifically to speakers of English. That's not entirely true. We do also do have some Japanese programs, but and then yeah. So my friend he introduced me to Takeharu because I was extremely interested in building up the profile of this area, the Shonai region specifically, but also Yamagata Tohoku as a whole. And my friend, he knew that, and then I guess maybe he thought it would be a good idea. Like, yeah. So their friend was Australian, and so I'm 186 centimeters. My friend is taller than me, and yeah, and well, especially in Japan, but my friend is taller than me, and he's as white as I am, and he was out running in the middle of the rice fields, and Tuck, my now boss, saw him, and he was like, "Why is there a foreign person running in the middle of the rice fields of Yamagata?" And long story short, so I think Tuck was maybe looking for someone like him, like like an English speaker who would be able to help provide these Yamabushi trainings in English. And that friend introduced me to Tuck. And then Tuck was like, we met for lunch, and Tuck was like, "Would you want to become a Yamabushi?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" Ukitamo.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's an element of spiritualism involved.
Yes, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
So
So
we can explain that, since I'm
yeah,
kind of assuming that doesn't exist,
yeah.
or the same kind doesn't exist in New Zealand.
Oh no, it's similar, very similar in New Zealand with Māori culture. It's nature worship. It's all about praying to nature. Yeah, there's quite a few similarities. There's actually quite a few similarities between Japan and New Zealand, like the native culture. Um,
Mhm.
I don't. This is not verified or anything, but I met this Māori elder last year, and he was telling me that like some names in Japanese, like Otaki and Tamaki, these are also common Māori names. So it's
Ooh,
just like,
interesting.
yeah, like, so I don't. It's not verified. It's not scientific or anything, but there's like
Yeah,
some
well,
sort of connection between. Yeah, I can't.
certainly Polynesia, I could
Yeah,
see
definitely. Yeah.
that, right. Interesting. Okay, so I'm sorry to get you off track there.
No, it's okay.
So
Yeah,
your father had passed away,
yeah,
and then you met your soon-to-be boss
yeah,
or elder there. What?
yeah.
So you did this on a whim, or
Kind of on
what
a
was
whim.
behind it? Oh,
Yeah.
this is a life-changing whim.
So I
Okay.
first, yeah, well, yeah, like I don't know, maybe my life's gonna be like that, like just go with the flow kind of thing. Um, and yeah, so Tuck, so yeah, he's like, "Do you want to be a Yamabushi?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." And so for the first year or so, I helped out the business by translating. Um, did we have mainly just translating like the website and like trying to get things ready so that if when people do come, we would be able to run the training in English. It includes like writing like a script for when people come, or it's like translating like we have a prayer sheet for prayers, obviously, and so like transcribing that, and yeah, lots of little stuff like that. And we also interview anyone that comes on our programs. We interview them because as well, I haven't described it yet, but it's esoteric, and it's not like, we don't consider it tourism. It's
Mm.
tourism in the regard that uh, people travel to come to us, but that's about it. And so what we regard it as self-development programs for self-development. Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's not normal. It's not it's not a tourist thing. And so like, yeah. And so for example, so what we're doing is So we take people out into the mountains. This is what Yamabushi have been doing for thousands of years, or at least hundreds of years. And we train in the way of the Yamabushi, which is so you're lip sealed. You're not allowed to talk, except for one word, which is uketamo, which means I accept. And so we'll take you out into the mountains, and we visit the abode. We visit where the kami and the Buddha reside, and we pray to them. Okay,
In
so
silence.
that's in silence. Yeah, except for obviously the prayers and saying uketamo.
So So how long? I mean, how long do people come to visit on
Yeah,
these pilgrimages?
yeah. So our longest program. So we have the longest one is 1 week, but you're not spending a whole week in the mountains. It's like 2 days preparation in a Zen temple, training in the ways of Zen, which is also a lot about acceptance, which uketamo is about, just through different means. Like so Zen is so Zen is all about Zen meditation. Yeah, which is I think is really cool. Like the way the reason why Zen monks sit with, or the reason why they sit in meditation like that is because it's the best way to accept. Like you can't, if your hands are like that, you can't manipulate the world, or if your feet are crossed, you
Ah,
can't walk around. And so you're only in receptive mode. And that's kind of like, it's reflected in the Yamabushi way as well. Like no talking, so there's words just get in the way. You it's to get a little bit into the philosophy of it. Like it's believed that, mandala tapestries, like the massive tapestries, they represent the wisdom of the Buddha. So it's believed that this is projected onto the mountains, and by walking through the mountains, we absorb the wisdom of the Buddha through osmosis.
okay.
That's like the whole theory behind it.
And what are someone that goes on one of these pilgrimages? What are they hoping to get out of the experience?
So it depends on the person. Most people, I guess, they would just want mental clarity, a bit of space in their
Mm,
lives. Um, I think it's an extremely good excuse to like turn off your phone, or to
mm.
kind of get back to yourself. Like, yeah.
Through
Uh,
digital detox.
oh, it is. Yes. So we take your phone away from you for the whole week.
Ah, well,
Um, yeah,
when they turn the phone back on, that must be.
yeah. Most people like often the reaction is I got less notifications than I thought I would. Like that's like what most people say. Um, but yeah, and myself too. I have my own training next month though, from August 25th, 26th, 26th. I'll be spending a week doing my own training through Dewa Jinja, and yeah, we have no phone, and it's so freeing. It's amazing.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Um,
well, I can
yes,
imagine that. I
it's
don't think
that's like
I'd
a
be
really good
surprised.
excuse to like not, I don't know, not get in contact, not be able to be in contact. I mean, of course, for emergencies, you can be contacted, but yeah.
Hey, back to the Zen Buddhism. Now, I know next to nothing about this, but I
Yeah.
do remember way back when, a lifetime ago, practically, my first visit to Japan in a school group from
Mm,
university. We went down to Shimane
yeah.
and in the south near Izumo Taisha. So
Yes.
great
Yes.
place, another power spot in Japan.
Yes.
But one night we all spent in a Zen monastery.
Hmm.
And that was not a lot of sleep because we were woken up at like 4 in the morning
Yeah.
and told
Sounds
to
about right.
sit
Yeah.
zazen,
Yeah.
which is very, sitting on a tatami mat without moving. And then there was a monk behind me with a big
Yeah.
stick, and I would get wrapped over the shoulder with it
Yeah.
if I moved a little
Yeah.
bit while my legs were falling asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any element of this, not physical torture, but I mean, the
Yeah.
physical
Yeah.
aspect of this, is that part of the training?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
So we don't hit you with a stick or anything like that.
Mhm.
But we do meditation. we'll have the 2 days in the Zen temple, and it'll be 3 days out in the mountains, and then like out in the mountains, I mean in fully what do you call it, like immersion, full immersion, and that means no talking except for ketamo and doing only what the Master Yamabushi says. And then the last 2 days, you're out on the mountains again, except this time you're allowed to ask questions. So it's not as strict, but it's still got the training element behind it, because we want people to come away with like this might sound, what do you call it, like paradoxical, but we want people to come away with questions. Okay, with questions. So like the because if you have questions, you question yourself. You start to think more deeply about I don't know, important things. And so if you come away with answers, then like you're you're satisfied. You have no more training to do. You're done. So we want people to come away with questions, okay? But we want them to come away with answers in the regard. What do you say? That? So because we want them to understand, we want to give them an innate understanding of uketamo, which is the Yamabushi Haguro Shugendo Yamabushi philosophy. And so that means training in the mountains, okay? And then, but people have questions inevitably, and they want like kind of like tips or tricks on how to best use their time on the mountains. But yeah, how to best use their time in the mountains. And so we'll take them into the mountains for 3 days, and then the final 2 days, it's a more relaxed pace, and we answer questions, and we also give questions. We don't really give them.
Maybe could you walk us through a typical day up in the mountains? I mean, for example, what do you mean by that? Are you in a little lean-to here, or is it a tent, or are you out in the grass?
So, uh, so for the Yamabushi training section, the middle 3 days, I can't give away too much, but we stay in a shukubo, which we call in English a pilgrim's lodge. And then, and so you're staying in like it's kind of like a temple or shrine. Shukubo, they have to have an altar, so that's like one main difference between a traditional accommodation and a shukubo. And
I'm
then
kind of assuming this is not glamping here, right?
no, no,
Is it like the bare basics?
it's tatami
Okay.
stone if you're lucky. No, we give you a stone, but
Well, tell us about a day. Like, what time do you have to wake up, or do you
okay,
even
yeah.
get to sleep at all?
So during the training, I can't tell you what time we wake up. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm going into all the secrets.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. All right, give us the general in the morning.
Yeah, we wake up pretty early,
Okay.
and then you'd be straight out onto the mountains, and walking out in nature very early in some cases, and then except like for the final 2 days when it's okay to talk, like maybe wake up around 7 a.m. So yeah, that's a sleep in. Yeah. And then go out into the mountains for a little bit, and then go to, for example, like sometimes we do like official worship at Dewa Jinja, which is you can't, like, I don't know, normal members of the public can do this, like it's a paid kind of thing. It's not just going to the shrine and putting the coin in and then like clapping, you know. They have an official ceremony that they do for us. Otherwise, we're just out in the mountains, and we stop at where the Kami and the Buddha are. So where I think you could probably imagine, like they have shrines, like in the middle of nowhere, or for example, like a sacred tree that has like a shimenawa rope around it, or like a waterfall or something like that.
And so when you take people out into the mountains, are we talking about a lot of physical exertion of climbing like 2,000 or
Steps.
maybe
Yeah.
1,500 meters tall or something like that? Or
Yeah. So the point isn't to exhaust you physically. That's not the point. The point is to allow yourself to train to your own ability, train to your own like it's your own training. It's not. We don't think of it as our training. And so it really depends on the person. And so sometimes we would have like a slower person, and in that case, either the whole group would go slow, or they would go away with another guide. Depends
oh,
how slow they are.
that's what happened to
Um,
me.
oh, okay, yeah. And then I don't know about that. I think like if you did it,
I do.
because Master Hoshino he's a master. Master Hoshino's our Yamabushi master. He's like our Yoda. And uh, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'll say it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So last Saturday, I was the assistant guide, and he was like the guide. I was the assistant master, and he was the master. And we climbed up Mount Gasan. Mount Gasan is so we climbed from an elevation of it's about 1,400 meters to it's 1984 is the height of
Oh,
Mount Gasan.
it's a pretty
Um,
big.
yeah, but it doesn't take that long. Like fast people can go up in under 2 hours. So
Okay.
it's quite level. It's not that tough of a climb. At least I don't think so. Some people would disagree with me, but but what was I saying? Oh yeah, so we had a group of 26 people that we were training, and it was Master Hoshino and myself, and we had another female Yamabushi as an assistant, and um, so we had uh, essentially we had the group had like three, well, how would you say it? You have like the fast people, and you have like the medium people, and then the slow people. And Master Hoshino, he worked it so that we all got up to the summit, and we all got down at the same time. Okay. But we weren't all traveling at the as one group.
Kind of.
Okay. So he would he would like send the slow people in front, and they would go down slowly at their own pace, but and then we would wait for them a little bit. Or to wait for them is a little bit of a, maybe not wait for them is the right word, but like we would anyway, so we all went up, and we all reached the summit at the same time, and we all went down and reached the bottom at the same time, which is pretty, like, as a master is pretty tough thing to do. Master Hoshino, he's 80, or will be this year, next year, and he's
Okay.
fast. Yeah,
That I could picture.
yeah,
Like a lot of Japanese mountain climbers. So back on the practical aspects of it, I do remember my experience from a long time ago at a Zen temple. After the experience of doing the zazen and being hit on the shoulder many
yeah,
times, we did have breakfast. Now, there wasn't
yeah,
much.
yeah.
It was definitely vegetarian, and
Yes,
like tofu and maybe a couple of vegetables, and that was it.
yep,
So, are
that's about right.
you?
Yeah, yeah,
Is that more or less what you would expect on one of these
yes,
pilgrimages?
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
you don't have
yeah.
to forage for your own food or anything like that, right?
No, no, don't need to
Okay.
forage for it. Although sometimes it's like, um, so Mount Hagoro has 2,446 steps, and just on the side of the steps, there's food that you can eat if you know what to look for. And so, like,
Okay.
yeah,
Pick your own.
so I do. I'm snacking on it, like, as we were walking down, or so because people don't realize like there's food like right there. Um,
Okay.
the one
Hey,
I'm
by the
thinking
way,
of,
also,
mizu, a visual called
that's
mizu.
over. Okay.
No, just the name of the sansai mountain vegetable. It's
Oh,
called mizu.
a mountain vegetable. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah,
Another practical aspect. Now, in another part of Japan, in the island of Shikoku, there's also a very famous pilgrimage of
Hendo.
88.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So, when pilgrims go on that group tour or by themselves,
Mm,
they would dress all in white. I
yes,
think I noticed on the website you seem to do the same thing with your Yamabushi
yes,
training.
Yeah.
What is the significance of that? What is it called? And
So what Yamabushi wear is called is two. So one is shiro shozoku, which is like the whole outfit, and so it's actually to try and look like Fudomyo. Do you know the Buddhist? He's my favorite Buddha. He's
why
a
don't
really
you
cool
clue me
Buddha.
in on that? I don't know that.
Fudomyo. Maybe it's better if I type it down. Fudomyo.
While we're doing that, if everybody who's on here, we have quite a few. Please put your questions in here. We'll check them on the chat. Oh yes,
Thanks.
okay. So
Yeah,
Tim put
cool.
that in the chat.
That was
All
me.
right. What
Yeah.
are we talking about here?
So Fudomyo is he's like the principal. He's one of the principal deities of Shugendo, and the Yamabushi Shiro Shozoku, the white clothing that we wear, is to kind of like what do you call it? Like emulate or to try and to become Fudomyo. Fudomyo is Fudo is Fu is not, and then Do is move. So we call him the immovable wisdom king. And so we're trying to like make our brain, our mindset just immovable. So like resilient. And one way we do that is by wearing the shiro shozoku. And so to try and like emulate Fudomyo. And then so that's called shiro shozoku. And then we have the white I've got one right here. So this is called a gyoi. Gyo is shugyo, so the kanji for to go, which means training. Gyo, and I is koromo, so clothing. And this is my gyoi. It's just a white jacket, but it's got my one is Dewa Sanzan, so it's got the 3 mountains of Dewa, and then I've got stamps from each of the mountains that I've been to.
I see.
Yeah, except I've it is. It's a kind of collection. I'm yet to verify this, but I think this is the origin of Goshuin. You know, where people get the books with the stamps. I think this is the origin of it, or at least it definitely is up here. It might not be all over Japan. And this one's called Gyoi. And so when we do the full-on Yamabushi training, so like immersive one where you're not allowed to talk, that's when we wear the shiro shozoku. But this is a pilgrim's costume, and so it used to act like a passport as well. So if you're wearing this, you could go through the barriers because you were doing a spiritual worship. And then and so this one, so we would wear on the last 2 days. So the middle 3 days are shiro shozoku, like full on Yamabushi garb, and then the last 2 days it's like a pilgrimage experience, and so we would wear this one. Then
Another practical question, since we're on the topic of clothing here.
Yeah.
I noticed that you run your Yamabushi training multiple times per year.
Yeah.
I assume, sometimes in the winter, right? So, and we're talking about going up a mountain that's almost 2,000 meters in the winter in the northern part of Japan. It must get a little cold up there.
So in winter, no, you can't climb up that high. Mount Gaston closes in the middle of October because it gets too much snow. So, so the Yamabushi training with the full immersion one, that's only in summer. So summer and autumn. So June, July, August, September, October. Okay, and then there's only what's that, 5? I think we only do 5 times a year. But then we also have it's like your own private Yamabushi experience, which is based on these experiences, but it's not the full immersion. So it's kind of like the last 2 days. So you're allowed to ask questions, but you're still like in a training mode. And we call that like the reset training. And this one is available year round.
So about these questions, what about what? I mean, like the meaning of life. Or what about?
Yeah.
What other kind of
Mm.
questions do people typically ask?
Oh, they have more practical stuff like, well, one is who is Fudomi, or like why do you wear the shiroshozoku? I forgot one extremely important point about the shiroshozoku. Like the reason why they're white
Mm.
is it's what you wear on the dead.
Yes,
So
right.
yeah, so because the Yamabushi training is reenacting, it's a rebirth ritual. So
Oh,
your the first ceremony that we do is your own funeral, and then yeah, it's
your own
extremely
funeral
your own funeral.
while you're
It's
alive.
while you're alive. Yeah, so it's a metaphysical death and rebirth, obviously. And
Right.
so and then like the idea is that you're training your soul as you enter the mountains, and then when you come out of the mountains, your soul reattaches to your body, and so
Oh,
it's so you're like that's yeah, metaphysically reborn. So it's like a refresh, complete refresh.
that sounds
Yeah.
enlightening.
And even so people that visit the mountains when they pass away, they put this on when they in their casket.
Oh,
They get buried
they
buried with
keep
it.
it. I
Mm,
see. I see.
yeah.
Some full experience. Well, another thing I don't know any the details, but another thing I noticed that Japanese monks might do is stay under a freezing cold waterfall
Yes.
and
Yeah.
pray. Is that part of the
Takigyo.
training too?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Takigyo. So waterfall meditation. Um, yeah. So I believe I can get into real details as to why. I think one of it's to test you. It's to test your resilience and to build resilience. Put
so
put
from a
simply.
practical point of view, how long? I mean, are we talking about like ice cold water, and how long are you going
Yeah,
to be under there?
yeah. Depends on the person. So Master Hoshino is a real legend. He can do it for like more than 5 minutes. I've seen him do it for more than 5 minutes. Yeah. So this also depends on your like who you train with, because I've heard many different ways of doing it. Um, the standard that I've heard is to chant the Heart Sutra twice, and that's normally one run through is about 2 minutes. So if you can do that twice, you're there for 4 minutes or so.
So
Although,
the pilgrims that are being trained by you, that's
yeah,
your standard here.
the ones that do the full immersion training,
All right.
yeah. So it's not
Wow.
everyone. Yeah,
All right. Well, if the world masters max is around 5 minutes,
yeah,
I'm wondering if I can last 5 seconds. But all right,
yeah.
good.
Some
What
people
else
can't,
do you
but
do up on the mountain there?
what else do we do? Uh, it's all about prayer. It's all about worship. Like um, I always say that there's climbing a mountain, and then there's climbing a mountain with a Yamabushi or as a Yamabushi. They're two completely different things. Because when we enter the mountain as Yamabushi, we're entering like the world of it's a different realm, like the
Mm,
world of so Mount Hagoro represents the world of the present, Mount Gasan the world of the past, and then Mount Yodon the world of the future. So you're like traveling through a different time and space when you train as a Yamabushi. So it's not mountain climbing, right? Like,
okay.
yeah, you have a completely
Yeah.
different mindset. The mountain takes on a different form, different meaning.
So, Tim,
Yeah.
what about since you're gearing this training in English, which is very unusual? I assume you get a fair number of English speakers, of course.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm kind of guessing that many of your participants maybe come from a spiritual background that's very different
Oh,
from Yamabushi or even
yeah.
anything related to Japan.
Yeah.
How do you reconcile, let's say, someone who has a Christian background
Yes.
coming to
Yeah.
do this? Is that normal or what?
Completely normal. So I was raised Catholic,
Mhm.
so I consider the training to be non-religious, although
Oh,
it is based on so Shugendo is a combination of Shinto Shinto esoteric Buddhism, namely Shingon and Tendai Buddhism, and then Taoism and native Japanese animism. They were all combined into one doctrine or one like practice in the 8th century or 9th century by a guy called Enno and the Ascetic. And so it's a door. The Shugen door it's a door. So it's kind of like we said just before, like would you wouldn't consider judo to be religious, would you? Right. It's just like
No,
a path or
the
a way.
martial art judo.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it just happens to be based on religious experiences. And so that's how I reconcile it. So I don't think it is religious. Um, I mean, it's religious in that it's based on religion, but we're not doing it for the purposes of religion, although some people might be. And then, yeah, we know we've had lots of people of different faiths, like Muslim, and then Hindu as well, and then of course lots of Christians. But we don't like religion like is one of those things like it doesn't matter. Like we don't care about it. Like just like gender or one of the most common questions is it okay to do the training if we have tattoos? It's kind of like the same. They all fall into the same category. Like if you're physically able to do it, then you can do it.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah,
no restrictions.
yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
And
some people probably wouldn't want to do it because they do see it as religious, and that's their choice.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. And what do people say after they've gone through this training? How do they characterize the experience?
So so we do sorry, my daughter. So we have like we call it a naorai, which is like a after training meal session, and that's when you can have a lot more food than what we normally have, which is rice, miso soup, and pickles, if you're lucky. And then
What?
during, if you're
What
lucky,
if
yeah,
you're not
sometimes you have
like?
nothing. Sometimes you have
Oh,
nothing.
okay.
And so it's it's the hungry ghost round. But anyway, so uh, oh, sorry, what was the question?
Well, how do people? What kind of feedback do you get?
Yeah, sorry. And so during this Naurai celebratory meal, so basically every time I've done it, someone cries, and that person might be me. Because it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like extremely um, grounding. Like you're going to your core when you're doing the training, and so you're thinking extremely. Either you can either say extremely deeply or not at all. So you're taking your mind out of it completely, and then going back to your core self. And so when we finish the training, when we have this now, right, a lot of people they share like their history. And actually, this is the first time that we hear about their history because up until then, it's no talking, right? And so it's really interesting. Like you know people, you get to know them on a deeper level because you're training with them, but you have no idea who they are. Like the only thing you know is maybe the first name. And then when they get out, you like understand a little bit more about who they are. And one of the biggest reflections, like for myself, so because of my father passing away, and then my mother has Alzheimer's. She's only 60. She's 65, and she's already
Um,
forgotten me, right? And so like this is really tough. And
yeah.
so basically, anytime anyone talks about their parents, like especially their parents dying or something like that, I get really emotional. And then yeah, just some of the it brings back memories basically, but it's in a productive way. So it's like a productive way um, to reconcile or to what do you call it? To accept. That's probably the best word. To accept who you are. And so and a lot of us, myself included, like there's a lot of things about ourselves that we don't want to accept or we don't want to uh, recognize. And so, but the training, it for better or worse, it brings it out of you. And so that's when I see real growth. And so I think people like they're coming to terms with their self, and then then they're able to move on. They're able to do something new because they've like finally accepted who they are and like the things that happen to them. And so yeah, yeah. I mean, you have to see it to believe it. You have to. The best thing is to
Yeah.
obviously come and do the training, but yeah, some
Okay.
of
Well,
this,
I can
yeah.
sense that. But all right, here I'm going to throw another question out. Maybe the answer is no. But uh, do you use anything like ayahuasca or any alcohol to help move the training along here, or is it?
Uh, no. Yeah, just water. Although, so you can search this. So I'll tell you about it. So one part of the training is called Namban Ibushi, and we call it a smoky room session.
Aha.
Okay, and so what they'll
What
do,
are you smoking there?
uh, so they shut off all the windows and doors, and you're sitting inside the room, and they have this pot, and in the pot they burn um, different things like rice husk, and then I can't remember what else. It's like different grains and stuff, but then they also burn pepper, so it's kind of like getting pepper sprayed. Okay,
Oh wow,
and so
I'm enticed already.
yeah, and so the whole room is full of smoke, and it stings your eyes. And this is like it's kind of like a cleansing as well. Like smoke has that like effect, um, or so it's believed. And yeah, and so I'm pretty certain that in the past that was marijuana. Obviously, these days it's not entirely
I see.
legal. So,
I see. So
but
another
yeah,
secret of the Yamabushi.
yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure it was marijuana, but yeah, I can't
All
I
right.
can't say for sure. Um,
We'll move on to
but
another.
yeah,
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about these three sacred mountains in
oh
Yamagata.
yeah, sure. Dewa Sanzan, so three mountains of Dewa. Dewa is the name of the old province. It used to be like um, Yamagata Prefecture and Akita were, well, the majority of Akita used to be one province up until
Oh,
Meiji, called Dewa. And yeah, the three sacred mountains are so Haguro-san, Gas-san, and Yudono-san. They're like a combination that changed over time. It used to be different mountains like Mount Chokai, which is one that if you follow any of my work, you'll see all the time. Mount Chokai
mhm.
used to be one of the Dewasanzan mountains. But these days, so since the Shinto took over in Meiji, uh, like at the Meiji Restoration, so it's Haguro Gassan Yudono. And yeah, so Haguro represents the world of the present, where we like try and reflect on our current state or things that are bothering us at the current time. And then Gastan represents the world of the afterlife or the past. So it's believed, Gastan is believed to be where our souls go after we pass away. And
Hmm.
so Gastan is like the mountain of the souls. Um, and so it's believed that you can actually meet your ancestors when you go there. And so whenever I go there, I always think of my dad, for example. And then Mount Udono has a sacred object. It's like in English, the translation is sacred object of worship. And so I'm not allowed to talk about what it is exactly, but this particular object represents our where we are reborn. And so it's like a kind of like traveling through all time. So you go from the present to the past to the future, and then uh, the theory goes that you return back to your physical self. Um, yeah, and that's what the
Ah,
three mountains represent.
okay, thank you
Yeah,
very much
but
for explaining as much as
yeah,
you're allowed to. That's got it.
I've
And
I've uh I've been meaning to do like a hiking guide, like a more of a practical guide to all three, which I'm planning on doing sometime soon.
that
So
sounds great.
yeah,
Very
I've written
good.
about it quite extensively, but haven't put it into a video yet. So yeah.
And so back on the fact that, well, your boss, so to speak, intends to provide this training in English,
Mm,
and that seemed, especially for such a secretive activity that seems very enlightened, so to speak. I mean,
Yeah.
why? What's the impetus for providing the training in English?
It's because it shouldn't be limited to Japanese. It's such a powerful training that we shouldn't just limit it to
That's great.
Japanese people.
And
some
many
people,
people?
different schools of Yamabushi have a different opinion on this. So it's just like we're more open, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
And so, how many people have you trained so far? I mean, if you're allowed to,
A few hundred.
divulge, a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And are there like repeaters, or is this like a one-time event?
Oh, no. So one guy in particular, he's going to be coming back. He did our training originally, and now he's going to be doing my training, the Shinto Yamabushi training, for the third time.
Oh,
So, yeah, we've actually got I think there's actually quite a few people that repeat. And some, like this year, we have 2 that joined us last year. They're going to join the official Dewa Sanzan Jinja training. So they will become official Yamabushi next month. They'll be training with us. Last year, we also had, I think, another 2 as well in the female Yamabushi training as well.
so it's separate by gender?
So our programs aren't. Our programs are both. So we both is it the right word? So
Everybody's
our
together.
programs, together, all genders, and then the shrine separates it into a male training and a female training. I don't know. Maybe it's just a practical reason. I'm not entirely sure.
Hmm.
Yeah, but
And
yeah, go ahead.
well, all right. In the remaining time we have, first of all, we have a nice comment. What a kind and generous approach. Oh, I totally
Thank
agree
you.
with that. Hey, just another reminder, if anyone has any questions, please just put them in the chat and we'll try to get to them. I'm curious. So, all right, I'm already saying, all right, sign me up. How do you do it? Where do you go to sign up? And we'll put a link in the notes
Thanks.
from the program. But
Yeah. So
you just sign up on the website here?
Yamabushido.jp.
Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
as simple as that.
Simple as that. Yeah, that'll tell you what you need to know. Yeah.
And this is more or less a week or so?
So it depends. So we think that the shortest amount of time that you would need to have some sort of transformation is about 3 days. And
Okay.
so the shortest is 3 days. So we've got a 3-day program, which is private, completely private. And then we have, and that doesn't include the immersion, Yamabushi immersion. And then we've got a 5-day one, which includes 3 days of immersion, and then a 7-day program, which includes 3 days of immersion. And then we also have, people want like a completely private week-long training as well, which we have. So we have 4 main ones. So 3 days to a week. Although that completely private week-long one, can be extended. So some people opt for 10 days or even longer.
Okay.
Which we
I see that the next one is coming up on the first week or so of August. How far in advance do you have to sign up for one of these?
We normally cut the intake off, I think it's about 2 months in advance. Yeah, except sometimes we do have spots, so people should reach out. But the latest you can do it is probably 2 weeks for the training. Yeah.
All right. And you have a lot of FAQs, which is great. Just one thing, if you're allowed to divulge it, maybe it's a secretive thing, but I mean, how much does this cost to go join on one of these programs?
So I can't let you know. People have to make an inquiry. Yeah. But the cost is all inclusive. You'll be with a bilingual Yamabushi or at least a translator throughout the whole experience. It includes all the clothing, all the temples and shrine fees. Yeah, all the food, everything, all inclusive.
Terrific. Yeah. Okay. Well, it sounds terrific. It sounds like a truly transformational experience that everyone should go through. Good. In the remaining amount of time that we have, and wow, time has flown by,
Yeah.
I'm just curious because you spent so much time, particularly in the Tohoku region. Do you have any other quote unquote hidden gems other
Oh,
than the Dewa sound? No,
uh,
that's
if you
you.
have a car, you need a car.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, they're on my blog.
Yeah. Right.
So one place that I really love, it's called Yozo Toge. I'll have to write this down.
All right.
Yozo Toge. If you go to my website and just go timbunting.com/yozo, it should come up. Um, this yeah, just it's a mountain in between here and a town, just in that direction. How to put that down? Yeah, and so you have to read the article. It's got a really cool legend about a white snake in the middle of a pond in the middle of the mountain, and it's got they call them the what do you call it? It's a bunch of waterfalls that they call them like the phantom waterfalls, and then this there's this one marsh, and it's got salamanders. It's just a really cool place that
Sounds
I really
great.
like. Yeah,
Mm.
but you need a car to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tohoku is pretty big.
yeah.
And so I'm curious, Tim, what's your future going to be like? Are you going to ascend to become yet another level of being a master Yamabushi
Oh,
and remain in Japan
yeah.
forever? Or are you going to
I don't know.
bring the practice to New Zealand or somewhere else?
So I want to move to practice to New Zealand as well. I want to um
Ah,
uh in the future. So officially, so next month, after next month's training, it'll be the 5th time that I've done the shrine training, and that's when you officially become a sendatsu, which is like a master Yamabushi. And then, so my plan right now is to just continue what I'm doing.
yeah.
But yeah, in the future, so maybe next year I'll be able to visit the Māori chief that I mentioned earlier.
Mm.
And he was like, he is like, you should come and establish Yamabushi training in New Zealand. And so with his permission, I would love to do that.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. And just out of curiosity, in the Maori tradition, is there anything equivalent to Yamabushi training? Or
I don't know.
okay, wow.
Yeah. But I know that it's all nature worship. It's like
Mm.
all indigenous cultures in the world. So,
Good. Hey, we have another very nice comment here. It says, "Thank you, Tim. It was
oh,
wonderful to meet someone whose newsletter I read." Yeah,
thank you.
very good.
Thank you. Thanks
Excellent.
for
Thank
reading.
you. Yeah, exactly. Hey, any other questions? Now is the time to ask, or you could sign up for the training and
Yeah,
ask. Well, you won't be able to ask anything until the last 2 days,
that's
but
right.
then you
Yeah.
can ask away. But now is another opportunity to do that if you want anything. And then, okay, well, good. Uh, so what? All right, here's another question going back to the training. What kind of people sign up for this? Is it all different aspects of different ages,
Yeah.
different backgrounds?
Yeah. So we've
Yeah.
had the last training we did in July, there were a few, basically everyone was either in their 20s or 30s.
Oh,
Okay.
younger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except like last year we had a few in their 70s.
Oh, all right.
So
So,
huge range of ages.
yeah.
Most people, I don't know, they just want something more esoteric. They want more reflection. A lot of people we find are at a turning point in their life.
Mm,
Often people are wondering whether they should start a new business or not, and usually the answer is yes. Um, and then we've also had some people like who've gone through a divorce,
mm.
and one time we had one person who was wondering whether they should go through a divorce. But anyway, like,
Oh, that's good.
yeah, a lot of turning points.
Okay.
Yeah. Or just they just want introspection, I
Mhm.
guess. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
And then
interesting.
we get the people that are like big on like yoga and like experiences like that. So
Is yoga
yeah.
a portion? Is any?
No, not specifically. Yeah, it's part of it because you have to sit on the ground for quite a long time, so you need flexible hips. But
Right,
yeah,
very good. Well, okay. Thank you so much. I understand that you are bound to not be able to tell us everything about the training. So
yeah.
thank you
Unfortunately,
for
yeah,
divulging as much as you're able to. And good luck on the coming training. And after that, you're going to become a master Yamabushi.
yeah. Officially, yes, yeah.
Wow.
I've already been guiding, but yeah, as a master. But
That sounds very official. And congratulations in
thank you.
advance. First, you have to
Thanks,
survive that
Mike.
training. I'm sure you'll do a great job.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah. I hope so. Yeah.
Well, we are at the end of our hour, so we'll say goodbye. I'll let you say goodbye in just a second. Everyone who's listening, thank you very much for your time. And got another very nice comment. Thanks. Good stuff. Thank you very much. We will put this video into a recorded version, and put that out in about 24 hours. Feel free, of course, to contact Tim directly through his Substack or through the Yamabushi .jp website. And then hopefully you will have been inspired to sign up for this training at some point. It's too late for the next week's training, but coming up in autumn,
In
there are
September.
open spots, right? September, there. Okay, fair. Good. Tim, please say goodbye to everybody.
Oh yeah. Oh, thanks for having me, Mike. It was great. Yeah, I haven't done this for a long time. And thanks for everyone for joining. Please at least come to Tohoku. It's the, it's, yeah, I mean, Kyushu is pretty cool as well, but yeah, at least come up to Tohoku. You'll love
Excellent.
it. Yeah.
I totally agree.
Thank
Tohoku
you.
is a wonderful place. Thank you, Tim. Have a great day.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Okay, then.
All right. Thanks,
I'll see you next
everybody.
time.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching and or listening to another story from the Read My Lips series of podcasts on Real Gaijin. Tell us what you think and be sure to tune in again next time.
Woo!